Manowski and Suzanne Sharkey on a new amazing. Now, just a heads up, we were having like a little private party at Jerry Norton's house last night. We did it for the camp counselors. Tumanowski gave me that idea. Where I was in the driveway, and Tumanowski's like, "Why are we not called camp counselors?" I'm like, "Because I'm an idiot and I didn't think of that." It's so freaking smart. So we were hanging out last night, and I told about 20 people. I said, "Hey, I'm going to choose one of you guys to speak on stage tomorrow, but you're not going to know who it was or who it is." And so I rolled up today, walked right up to Justin. I said, "You're speaking. I'm giving you 20 minutes today." And he's going to talk about something that you guys can all go home and make money doing. And I'm super excited about it. So Justin Tumanowski and Suzanne Sharkey, welcome up to the stage.
Thank you. Hey, what's up, guys? Thank you so much. Justin Tumanowski, Suzanne Sharkey from New England. And yeah, we knew someone was going to speak, but we did not know until this morning. So we didn't even know what it was supposed to be about. So bear with us, but we just want to talk about a few things that we're doing in New England. And it's really about community, right? We're in community camp. And I think that's huge. It's changed my life. It's changed Suzanne's. We want to cry every day, and we talk about crying all the time because of the community and like the things that we've changed as humans. And that pace has changed, and Cody and everyone in this room. Like, guys, our lives are changing daily.
Personal growth.
Personal growth mindset. So I can't give, like, if I can give more, I'm gonna do it because I owe everything to Subto and Pace. And this is the beginning, guys. This is the tip of the iceberg. It's for real. So excited. So, Suzanne, do you want to jump in real quick? We're gonna go through 3 steps, and then a few other things.
Before I get to that, thank you so much, Pace, honestly. Everybody is in this room because of him. It was your idea, and then you convinced him and used his house and his boats, got Vina, got Cody, got everybody here. So thank you so much for being here. Additionally, thank you so much to all of you for making the trip out here, because I know a lot of you struggle with feeling guilty walking from your businesses. For me, I have separation anxiety from my dog. It's a whole thing. But being here today, being here physically now, be present here mentally now as well. There is magic to be made in this room because you are here, okay? So we're talking about being Subto New England. We are the best and baddest and biggest, kind of, ego-wise maybe, in all of Subto. And the reason for that is because we have been building for the last 2.5 years plus, and on top of it, we really like each other. We do a lot of deals with each other, we break bread with each other, we're friends with each other, and we do that because somebody set the example for us, right? Yeah. Just quickly, Justin Tumanowski, Real Estate Justin on Instagram. We share a lot of the stuff that we do. Subto New England also has a page. Just Google Subto New England and you will find us. We share, we put it out there. I think that is the thing that is our cutting edge, our secret sauce. We are vulnerable, we share. I don't know why we like to do it so much, but we help each other and we help ourselves when we are vulnerable in sharing. So for me, I think the 2 big takeaways I want you to have from this, when you're like, I don't know what the next step is to take, be vulnerable. And in being vulnerable, you will have your own accountability, because you may or may not like the things that you have to say out loud. You may or may not like who you are, right? And nobody's going to force you to do anything. It's you're going to feel something. You're going to take action. You're the only one that knows your answer. Anyway, Suzanne, Justin, Subto New England, the best. What's up?
So I guess we'll start off with patience, right? And do you want to elaborate a little bit more on patience, and then we'll just go through the rules of all good? Help the lady guys. So we'll go through patience, and then I'll end up going through, you hit this part, we'll go through expectations, and then we'll just monetize. There's 2 other topics, we'll go on that. Sound good?
Sure. Patience. I have none of that. I'm not even gonna lie. As a leader of Subto New England, I actually call it Casey Anthony, which I don't even know if is accurate or not, where I want to drown my child. That's how I feel. There are days that I call this the wild, wild west of off-market real estate. There are some really tough days. There are days that you're going to run into snakes, and they're going to be your friends, or they're going to be people that you least expected it from. So the highest highs and the lowest lows, you will have them, but you will also be a better person for going through them. If you stay at home and you want to be a bubble boy or a bubble girl, that's your business, right? We're hardwired as humans to be comfortable, but that personal growth that Cody was talking about before is so important. It's the reason kind of why I'm in Subto. I'm such a different person from when I started from the beginning to where I'm at today. So having that personal growth is huge, and you have personal growth when you're challenged, and you're challenged when you're a leader. And one of the things, again, as I said before, I have zero patience at times. I have no chill, and people know me for that. But in this group of building, again, the last 2.5 years, I have been building quietly in the background, like a creep, right, at my computer, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, ripping my hair out, saying, why the hell am I doing this? I want to kill my child right now, which is the group that I lead. But I want to kill them right now because why am I alone doing this? But then I do a little self-care, I take a snack, have a nap, wake up the next morning, we have a meetup like this where magic in the room happens, right? If you allow yourself to be open, right? You don't need permission to be you. Be you, you're the only you that there is. And you're the most magical being out there. So be you, and the way that I think of it is I think about it like molecules colliding. That's my only goal, is I'm trying to put people in a room and I'm trying to make you collide. Because when you collide, magic happens. So I guess the topic I'm supposed to talk about is patience.
Let's ask about the leader. Are there any regional leaders here? Are there any leaders?
Oh, right. One of the big things we hear a lot, who is a regional leader?
Where are the leaders here, guys?
Yeah. Regional leaders, leaders in general.
Why are you not raising your hand for?
Unofficial leaders.
Yep.
Who feels good about leading right now? Where you're like, oh my God, I love it so
Who wants
much.
to lead? Who has a market that doesn't have a leader?
Oh yeah, that's another thing. There are
There you go.
childless markets out there. Terrible.
Take a hold of the market.
You want to be a leader, whether you're leading your transaction and juggling all the pieces throughout, whether you're leading your business, you're leading your market, you're leading your family, you're leading somebody, right? Leadership is getting a whole bunch of people to focus on one action and doing that action, right? We do a very good job of that here in New England. But going all the way back, because I'm off task. Patience, I have none of it, but it's what it takes, right? Anytime that you run into burnout where you're like, I can't stand it, these people, go back into doing some self-care. Take care of you, figure out what that is that you need, because you need to make leadership sustainable for you, right? I understand the whole go-giver thing, and that's a whole other side topic. I don't even think I'm a go-giver, I'm a lover. I fall in love with people, I want to celebrate them, but there are times I also want to kill my child, right? So I have a snack, and then I fix myself, and then I come back and I'm ready to party again. But have patience, not only with others, but also with yourself. Leadership is not easy, okay? Be gentle on yourself, have compassion.
Thank you, well said. Casey Anthony. Where's Andrew Murray? My man. So guys, a couple weeks ago, Pace, you guys were at a meetup. You went to Pace, we don't have to get into the whole story, but you asked a question, and Pace put us on a group text message. And then we just took it from there.
Most of the time people ask me questions now, the answer to the question is somebody's name.
Yeah.
And Justin, I just want to say I'm proud of you because you are the answer to a lot of the questions people ask me.
Love you. Yeah, whatever I can do. That's all we have to say. Whatever we can do. So we had a quick Zoom. We had a Zoom a day or two later. And one of the questions, we don't have to go into the exact question, but as a leader, and you're going into a community, you want to be a conduit, you want to be the lightning rod, but you're going, man, I'm putting so much into these people, noobs and the new folks, and I'm answering the questions, doing it all, but I'm actually taking away from my business and my skills and my things of making money, my family, and you get questioned by your family. I know a lot of us have. We've all been there, we've been in the same rooms, and our spouses come at us, but it's also making money, and we have to make money, we have to do deals, because we have to have a reputation, we have to be reputable, we have to know what we're doing. And that question came up when we went through it, so between the patience, and really I want to touch base is like, you gotta have patience, you gotta give, you gotta give without thinking about the dollar. That's one of my biggest takeaways, is like, I don't think about the money aspect, it just comes. We don't think about the timeline, I don't think about the deal itself too much, like, you just let it all go, and then just answer the questions and be available as much best you can. But that, it falls in line with expectations. You know, I think we all have expectations that, for folks, and it fails. And we get let down, and we feel like, you know, we want to Casey Anthony everybody, and it's not right, but it's setting the tone here, and I think what we talked about, Andrew, was give, but set the expectations up front. This is what we're gonna do, this is how, if you're gonna approach me, you know, these are the guidelines. We're gonna bring a deal, this is how you bring a deal, and I think there's a lot of, that's a conversation for another topic for folks, is where, if you're gonna bring a deal to someone, this is how you bring it to me. So, just a lot of, this is the main, like, this is where the burnout phase is, I think. And then once you solve this, the monetization, where again, we're all investors, we're all entrepreneurs, we have to make money, we have to feed our families. So it's the thing that no one wants to talk about, but that's what it has to be. So Suzanne, do you have anything to share on those topics? I know.
On expectations, Justin, let's say I'm a new community member, I join, I'm in the New England area, I get on a first call with you, and I start asking you questions.
Yeah, you guys need to talk
How are you setting
the
expectations?
structure.
What are some of the ways you're
Exactly. Thank you so much for keeping that. So I think we're going to talk about, I call it the hierarchy, and it's not a good term.
It's a structure.
We almost have a corporate
structure.
structure in leadership, and I think that is the secret sauce too. There's a lot of secret sauces. Let's talk about the ladder. There's a nicer way of calling it the corporate ladder, or
The structure.
So I call it the leadership ladder. I'm not sure that this was the question that you were asking. Are you saying the path that new people take when they first join and they want to do a deal, or they want to move into leadership?
Well, no, what happens is you get, you're a leader in any part of our community in the country. You're going to get new people that join.
Yeah,
Right? They come in and they want to take your time.
yeah.
And what they do is they avoid watching something in the vault that could have answered their question.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this happens, this is where patience comes in. It's like, okay, you don't want to go watch the 14,000 hours of stuff that people put in. You just want to come straight to the source, but you're stealing me away from my business, my family, etc. How are you guys setting expectations properly with that person?
Okay, yeah.
that's what I'm saying. They don't come to me. We're going to send them to someone else too.
Yeah, we do what you do, in all honesty. So you're at a point where you have people clawing at you all the time, please, save me, I have this terrible deal, in your Instagram, right? And what do? There was actually the deal that he bought, which is a $500,000 waterfront Airbnb that's killing it right now in the lovely state of Rhode Island. Come get some in your portfolio. But it was a guy from Rhode Island. As soon as he said Rhode Island, he said Suzanne, and then he ended up buying the deal. But we throw people away. We push people to other people. So once upon a time, January 16th 2021 is my Subto birthday. When I started, there are children in the room. I effing was not ready for this SHIT at all. I wasn't ready. I ran out of excuses why I had not yet done Subto. I had like my one internet friend writing me like, did you do it yet? Do you know what the inside of what's going on? And I was like, no, and I had a bajillion reasons why not to do it. And in telling them my reasons, I was like, I'm full of shit, I'm sorry, like this is stupid. So I bought it, and I wasn't ready. And then I got angry for paying for something that I wasn't doing anything with. I jumped into a Thursday night accountability call. And I met like the 3 people that were in our regional group at that time. They set the tone of the standard that is our group today, which was, I felt really guilty showing up and not having anything to offer, not even moving the needle, not opening up an email, not looking at shit, nothing. And they were like, come anyway, get some momentum, get some energy from us. So Clinton Reynolds, Anthony McTizzit, Celicia Lopes were the 3 that started it for me. And every week I would show up, and every week that vulnerability of I didn't do squat, and that accountability of I don't like myself for not having done squat because I have no good reason for not doing squat, changed me. Then I made a directory that I had for us because I didn't like the Subto one because my geography is terrible, and unless you have it standardized by states, I don't know what a town is. Like, I just don't. So I made our own directory, and then in driving to New Jersey, which is a 4-hour drive, I called everybody. And I thought I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do like 10 minutes each, blah, blah, blah. It ended up being like 2-hour phone calls. But connecting with those people was the beginning of it all. That original group that we had, And my going out, making the directory, having that first touch with people, connecting with them, trying to understand them better. Who are you, right? What do you have, and what do you need? It's always those three questions. What do you have? What do you need? Who are you? Let me understand you and your personal brand. My personal brand, Korean, Rhode Island leader, right? When you think of Korean, Kim Jong-un, I don't care, your next neural jump better be me. Korean barbecue, call me out, I'll help you order, right? I joined Subto also because I heard Pace talking. He said one sentence, I have no idea what you said. On that 16-hour Zoom, he spoke Korean. He's like, nobody knows, I've been to Korea. And I was like, oh, dude, I'm in. But I didn't lie that day. I had more excuses. So, once upon a time, I was a baby, right? There was only 20 of us. And in that process of me calling people, reaching out, connecting with people, answering those low-level questions of where is this, where is that, what is this, what is that, being that resource for people shaped me to who I am today. Then I ran into burnout later, and I was like, I can't do these low-level preschool questions. I need somebody else to do them. I need somebody else to have the opportunity that I had when it was just me once upon a time. And so I have something that I call the naked ladder, leadership ladder. Don't look up, because it's not a good view. Don't look down if you're scared of heights, because just worry about the next step. And I got obsessed with creating space on that ladder. So I needed to move up that ladder to create space for the next generation. And I call it, so we are regional leaders for our group. There are 3 of us. And then I put us all on a map, and then I chunked us out into 5 local leadership groups. And then I made an integrator and a visionary for each of the groups so that they were supported. And I forced them to have meetups, and I forced them to take on those low-level questions, because that's how I am who I am today, is by answering all those low-level questions. You gotta start somewhere, right? Like a kid. So because I did all that and I outgrew the position, I moved up on what I call the leadership ladder. And I created space behind me for others to have opportunities to grow into leaders. And I think that's what's made us super, super successful. It's all in a spreadsheet. I documented because somebody yelled at me, and May will get all of our resources. But I'm literally here today because I came to give you our sauce, everything away. And the reason for that is actually very selfish of me, because we are in a transition period. As we grow, as we level up, I can't be on top of the mountain by myself. That doesn't make me great. I need others, peers with me. So I'm gonna give you my secret sauce, and then I'm gonna level up again, right? So I'm here for all that, yes.
Would you guys do a Zoom with people that are regional leaders and show them how you guys are doing the ladder and the spreadsheet and all that?
So we already have, for the people that have reached out, and Tia been asking me since forever. It's funny when you called on me, because I have been telling them, like, quarter 3, quarter 4, I gotta get back to Subto. I gotta tell them. But first, I wanted to make sure that we had our sauce right. But I'm braggadocious because I got it, because I did it, right?
Love you. Good job. So guys, it's just that.
Talk about how you guys have like the quarterly meetups.
So yeah, I mean,
And,
we just did our big first 250 person or so meetup. Guys, I mean, and it's non-profit, we're not trying to make a buck on anything, but we want to, it was called Creative Elite, and it was highlighting everybody in Subto in our community. We bring in the attorneys also that we're doing deals with, we bring in the TCs, and we just wanted to highlight everybody. There's a panel, and then we brought realtors and wholesalers and anybody in our community, and our friends and electricians and contractors to come in one big room like this. It was a big ass room, it was awesome. And we did our first, paid event, right? Catering, the whole thing. So, trying to just elevate the brand of Subto New England. And like, the funny thing is, someone actually said to me, they're like, damn it, you guys got to brand your shit? Like, we thought it was illegal to do that from Subto. Like, we didn't really ask, we're just branding our shit just because we're proud to be Subto, and we just want to take this territory. So,
Sorry. Pace told us. I was on one Zoom with him where he was like, lead until you bleed, and I was like, click, I'm out. None of that. That was a tough day for me. I haven't been to a Zoom since then, and that's been like 14 months, a long time. But once upon a time, you had talked about Subto is ours. It's ours. Whatever you want to do, make choices, make it good choices, and execute. As you execute, you'll figure out whether or not it's a good way, if you like it or you don't. If you don't like the results of the decision you make another decision fast. The longer you sit on it, the worse it becomes. But we did what we did because we just copied you. We listened to what you said, which was document, get an Instagram. I'm not an Instagram person. Go look at my stuff. It's not that funny. It's just stuff that's funny to me. Yeah, a little messed up though. But I have an Instagram because of you. I document because of you. We have a whole Google Drive on everything we have because of you. And we have the name that we have because we listen to Pace. So I don't know if that's our secret sauce, it's just listen to him. He leads by example, right? Goes out, makes all these amazing friendships, brings it back, levels up constantly. That's what we do. We just copycat him. That's it.
Yeah. And I think the next thing that...
The last question is monetization. Are you guys doing deals inside of your group?
Absolutely, absolutely, yeah. We're doing deals together, but actually at the same time, I think I want to talk, real quick, we're actually sometimes brought in as the jury on deal squabbles. Like we actually hold court for real. And I think it's been super great. Like people come and go, hey, this person's acting shitty and this person's acting shitty, and you both think you're right. We go, all right, take two different people, bring the leaders, tell your stories, let's see the text, let's see the emails. We'll give you an opinion. We don't judge it, we can't rule anything. But we also think that if you look like you're causing a foul, we're gonna call you out on it, and then we actually might just have to say, you have a little asterisk next to your name to be cautious if that person's doing bad business. So that's one of the other little takeaways. I don't even know if we're supposed to do that again, but I think we
it's
want to
holding
treat
people
humans.
super accountable.
We are keeping accountability, and it's just, guys, we want fair. When we're in Subto, our little group, we're gonna do shit fair, and everyone's gonna get treated and like. You can make money, but don't be a snake.
So going back to monetizing, I think I think our secret sauce is honestly being vulnerable. One of the first things that kind of smacked me sideways is I joined the group and we're like humming along, and then one day they're like, none of us have done a deal. And I was like, I'm sorry, what? None of you have done a deal and you're the superstars in my mind? But from that moment forward, we were really pushing to get our first deal, right? Be vulnerable. Don't be anybody but you because you're magical, right? Don't pretend nothing because what kind of life is that anyway? And in being vulnerable, you can be accountable. And so when it comes down here to monetize, another way that we lead by example is we're very transparent about the deals that we do. We share our highlights and we also share our lowlights. And we know exactly how much money everybody is making on a deal. We try to be as fair as possible. We do actually rule and give our opinions on other people's deals and transactions. I wouldn't have done that. I would have done this, blah, blah, blah. So we have discord. We disagree, but we're vocal, communicative, transparent, vulnerable with each other. And so I don't know what exactly our secret sauce is. I will give you everything I have. I will answer any question that you have. But if I distill it down, I really think it is us being vulnerable. And for some reason, when we are vulnerable and talking it out, we find our answer, we help each other, and we help ourselves. And because of that, we keep coming back to this community. People talk about humans are pack animals, right? You're all selfish. You all have a mouth that needs to be fed, right? Which is the money that you need to make to go live your life. That's being sustainable, right? But you're together in this community because there's a Chinese proverb that says, if you want to go fast, you go alone. And if you want to go farther, you go together. And we have more together. Without question, we have more.
Yeah, I mean, just go back to the monetization, and guys, I mean, we're doing meetups with agents, we're doing the whole song and dance, like preaching the creative finance and getting newbies in the room. But the one thing too is like, I think a lot of people are doing this too, but it's, you're sharing your leads. So the leads come up the board. Someone brings something in, we're gonna share it. And all of our deals, we stay in-house. Like Suzanne and I just did a deal together, just talked about. It's one of those things that's like, let's do it together. Let's keep it in-house first. Let's make money together first, and if we have to go outside or someone, you can be a connector, be the conduit that gets us that deal done. And then obviously, I think Texas is doing, what do they call it, the hut something? Power hour. All right. Well, either way, it's the weekend calls.
You weren't even close, bro.
I know. I just don't know, Texas hot.
Hut something?
So weekend calls, you know, whatever you want to brand that, but get together with your, you know, fellow, go through your leads, make dials, battle buddies.
And
I
show up for each other.
And guys, consistency is the number one thing.
Yeah.
Show up. That's all I ever say. Show up. And that's really it. Show up for your fellow man.
Yep.
Subto New England on Instagram. Subto New England on Instagram. You're gonna have questions. You're gonna want everything that I got, and I'm gonna give it away to you anyway. Okay? But Subto New England, find us, connect with us. Real Estate Justin, Suzanne Sharkey. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you. Question. Appreciate it. It's a lot of work. Going out and leading a region is really hard. And for anybody that runs meetups and runs groups, it's really hard. But what they really figured out to do, and I get tagged on these Instagram posts all the time, not just from Suzanne running Subto New England, but I get tagged on a lot of the New England students that are doing deals. And a lot of times they're just doing deals internally. They're going out on appointments. You guys are also hiring internally as well.
All my business people, everyone pretty much in my business is New England.
Right.
Instagram, video editors, cold callers, lead managers.
So from a monetization standpoint, when you're leading a group that's 200 strong, there's a lot of resources to pull from, and when you have a gap in your business, you go, oh my gosh, you'd be a great fit. In fact, some of the people that, she's up in Maine.
Chelsea.
Yeah, Chelsea comes to me, I saw her at one of your properties, and she says, I just want to thank you. And I was like, why? And she says, well, because I joined and I jumped on Justin's team, I got my first deal, I got my first check. And so internally, it's more about, it's not even necessarily about the deals you're doing, it's also how you're building each other's businesses and watching out for each other. And you guys are doing the most in the country. And I just want to applaud you guys for that. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and the retaining.
Yeah.
Retaining.
So what we'll do is, if you guys want, we'll do a Zoom at some point in the next 30, 60 days, and we'll put some of this stuff together and kind of give people a visual of what this looks like. Are you guys cool with that?
Yeah.
Would anybody want to be in that Zoom? Yeah. All right, cool. All right, so I said we were going to take a break, but we're not, because I let Cody went a little long. That was